You know that feeling where you're just endlessly scrolling through other people's success stories, wishing you were the one actually building something? Well, welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're taking Jonathan Reed's incredible book, Start a Business from Zero, and we are turning it into a literal roadmap for you. We're going to break down exactly how you can stop being a passive consumer of information and start becoming an active builder of your own future.
So let's just be completely real for a second and speak directly to those of you sitting at a safe 9-to-5 job right now. You're daydreaming about working for yourself, but you feel entirely stuck in the thinking phase, right? Think of this explainer as your inspiring story of transition. It's all about how you can safely and methodically move from the comfort of that steady paycheck into running your own company without absolutely blowing up your life in the process.
Now, there is a massive trap here, and the book calls it performative preparation. You definitely know the feeling. It's when you're watching your 50th YouTube tutorial on, choosing the perfect brand colors, and it feels immensely productive. But honestly, it's really just avoidance behavior. It's driven by the fear of losing your steady paycheck. Our beginner minds are wonderfully inventive when it comes to postponing discomfort. We tell ourselves that looking up legal structures is real progress, but really, we're just using caution as a hiding place. We're confusing not wanting to be embarrassed with making actual progress.
To break free from that trap, you've got to make a massive psychological shift. You have to literally stop consuming endless information and start actively externalizing your ideas, even if they're super imperfect. A consumer sits there asking, "Am I ready yet?" But a builder asks, "What can I build today? And how can I test this right now?" To transition out of your day job, you have to actually change your behavior, not just add another book to your reading list. Here's the fascinating psychology behind this. Your brain fundamentally prefers the safety of planning over the extreme discomfort of taking action. In cognitive behavioral psychology, this is known as avoidance behavior. Unconsciously, when we're faced with the totally normal anxiety of putting our ideas out into the real world, our brains just naturally shift toward low-risk tasks. Reading one more article rarely changes your actual situation, but man, it gives you a temporary sense of relief. But listen, recognizing this psychological mechanism is the exact key to overcoming the fear that's holding you back. You aren't lazy. You are literally just avoiding uncertainty. And that brings us to the ultimate truth about starting out. Confidence doesn't just magically appear out of thin air before you take action. Actually, confidence is the receipt you get from collecting small, visible builder actions over time. You do not need to somehow eliminate the fear of starting your own business. That's impossible. You just need to learn how to act right alongside it.
Now, to survive the initial, let's call them growing pains of self-employment, you have to identify what the book calls an honest anchor. When the honeymoon phase ends, the novelty fades, and you're just exhausted staring at a spreadsheet at midnight, what is the real, unedited reason you are putting yourself through this? Having mixed motives here is completely normal. Maybe you're after income resilience and building a solid safety net, or you just desperately want to reduce your total dependence on one single boss. Maybe you're looking for work that actually fits your nervous system so you aren't burned out all the time. Finding your true anchor is absolutely crucial because it provides the long-term endurance you need to actually bridge the gap between your day job and your company. Remember, you don't need a poetic, beautiful reason, you just need a durable one.
All right, so with your anchor firmly set, let's face the single most terrifying part of leaving a 9-to-5, the money. Building financial stability isn't just a nice-to-have, it is the ultimate, essential bridge to your new life as an entrepreneur. The absolute easiest way to avoid the critical trap that completely ruins so many early-stage businesses is immediate separation. Please separate your personal and business money from day one. When you mix them, your brain is under high cognitive load, constantly trying to reconstruct reality to figure out what was a personal expense versus a business one. It's a nightmare. Keeping them separate creates immediate financial awareness, radically reduces your stress, and honestly, it formalizes your identity as a real business owner, not just someone with a messy hobby. And once you do launch, you need to know that your business is going to survive through a repeatable 90-day stability system. It consists of 4 equally important blocks: lead generation, sales, delivery, and administration. This proves that real stability comes from having structure, not just from exhausting yourself with hard work. If you spend 100% of your time delivering your service but completely ignore lead generation, your whole system breaks down. You need a rhythm that balances all 4 blocks to keep the lights on. Now, Reed emphasizes something super important. This entire course only works if you treat it as a behavioral tool.
You have to use specific daily exercises to forge lasting business habits. Research shows that using implementation intentions, which is a fancy way of saying specific if-then plans, dramatically increases your follow-through. For example, if I finish my coffee on Saturday morning, then I will spend 25 minutes working on my business. Action is triggered by concrete structure, not just a fleeting feeling of motivation.
So how do we put this into practice? By completing 3 small daily workbook tasks, you bypass all that analysis paralysis and significantly accelerate your transition. Task 1. Take one visible builder action. Get a thought out of your head and onto paper or a screen. Task 2. Update your financial tracker to maintain that clarity we talked about. And Task 3. Send one direct outreach message to actually engage with reality. Doing these specific exercises every day turns abstract theory into practical tasks, and those tiny habits compound into massive real-world business results.
Because ultimately, you absolutely must translate all this theory into reality. A business only grows when your ideas collide with the real world. Thinking about a business, that stays entirely in your head. It's safe, it's perfect, and it's completely undefined. But actually building a business means externalizing those thoughts. It's going to be messy, it will be imperfect, but it will be concrete.
And as you can see from this timeline, you really don't need dramatic, movie-style, risky leaps to leave your safe job. You just need a sequenced, logical flow. You don't have to quit your job tomorrow. In week 1, just clarify your motive. In 30 days, define the problem you're solving. By day 60, separate your finances and launch a minimum viable version of your product. And by 90 days, you're running your stability system. It is a completely methodical, achievable transition.
So I want you to ask yourself, what becomes possible in your life if you stop waiting to feel 100% certain and simply start practicing being consistent? Readiness is just a comfortable illusion that keeps you tied to your desk. You don't get ready and then start. You start, you talk to customers, you test things out, and through that process, you become ready.
If you're ready to dive deeper into these exercises, conquer the fears holding you back, and finally build the business you've been dreaming about, go grab your copy of Start a Business from Zero by Jonathan Reed on Amazon.com today. The gap between your safe day job and your own company is entirely bridgeable if you follow the course structure. So I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. If confidence is really just a receipt for action taken, what small, imperfect action are you going to take today to print your very first receipt?